Everyone, it's Fahim again, and we're going to go over part 2 of rates, work problems. So last time we did the video on rates, we went over the basic equation D is equal to RT. Now, distance is basically an action. So what we can do is we can actually replace it with the letter W and call that work. So work is equal to rate times time. And work can refer to pretty much any action, whether it's baking a cake or, writing a paper, building a house, painting a wall, etc. It sort of expands the idea of rates. And there are two particular equations for these type of work problems. The first is when you have a number of people working together, all having the same rate. And I like to call that same rates. Now, if you think about it, you have, one person with one particular rate working at some amount of time. Then you have another person working the same rate for the same amount of time. And of course, a third, a fourth, a fifth, etc. So everyone's rates are pretty much the same. So if you have an n number of people or things working on the same rate, you essentially have work is equal to rate times time times the number of people working together. And that's the first equation. So we have our equation for same rates. It's W is equal to R times T times N, or rate times time times the number of people. Let's look at a quick example. 12 chefs can bake 120 molten lava cakes in 4 hours. Let's break that down. 12 would be our N. So N is equal to 12. 120 molten lava cakes would be our W because that's what we're baking. That's the work. And time would be 4. So T is equal to 4. We can use this information and solve for the rate, which is using the equation nRT. 120 is equal to the number of people, which is 12. The rate is what we're solving for, so let's skip that. And the time is 4. If you do the math out, 12 times 4 is 48. 120 divided by 48 gives us 2.5. Now with this information, we can solve for the next part. If this rate remains the same, so the rate's going to stay as 2.5, how long will it take 5 chefs to bake 75 molten lava cakes? So N is now 5, and W is equal to 75, right? Let's do the math. 75 is equal to 5 times 2.5 times T. So we have 75 is equal to 12.5 T. And if you do the math, 75 divided by 12.5 gives us 6 hours. That's our final answer. It's as simple as that. We solve for the rate, and that's it. Number 2. Again, watch as how I answer this question. All I really do is I just take all the little bits of information and I just jot them down and plug them in, right? So 5 construction workers. N is equal to 5. Build 300 garages. So W is equal to 300. 15 days. T is equal to 15. Again, we're always just solving for R. So W is equal to nRT. W is 300. N is going to be 5. R is what we're solving for. T is 15. And R. So R is equal to 15 times 5, which is 75. 300 divided by 75 gives us 4. So our R here is 4. For the second part again, the rate stays the same, so R is equal to 4. We have 320 garages given, right? So how many construction workers will it take to build 320 garages? So W is equal to 320 in 10 days. So T is equal to 10, right? So we have T is equal to 10, and let's just plug it in. So W is equal to nRT, 320 is equal to 4 times 10 times n, which is what we're solving for. So 320 is equal to 40n, and n is equal to 8, not 80, just 8. That's it, guys. That's same rates. So the final topic for work problems is individual rates, right? So we just went over people with same rates. You'll obviously have people with different rates as well. So say Susie takes 5 hours to bake a cake and Johnny takes 3 hours to bake a cake. That's pretty much different rates. So the equation for that is basically W is equal to time. So everyone has the same time. And you have rate 1 plus rate 2 plus rate 3, and etc., right? And the equation for rate is just rate is equal to W over T. So that's all the information that you need for the individual rate. So an example would be, say Johnny can bake 3 cakes in 2 hours. What is Johnny's rate? Well, Johnny's rate will be, sorry for the bad handwriting, 3, which is the rate, right, which is the work, over 2. That is Johnny's rate. Say Vanessa can bake 10 cakes in 3 hours. What is her rate? Well, it's just going to be work over time, so it's 10 over 3. And that's it, guys. What you have to do for these problems is find the individual rates and then just plug it into this equation right here. And it's as simple as that. Let's look at some examples. Amy can paint 3 walls in 2 hours. So RA is equal to 3 walls over 2 hours, so 3 over 2. Belle can paint 2 walls in 1 hour. So Belle is going to be 2 over 1. Jackie can paint 1 wall in 2 hours. So Jackie is 1 over 2. We have our equations, right? So if they work together, how long will it take the 3 of them to paint 16 walls? So we have W is equal to 16, right? Now over to our right-hand side, we have the equation written down, so we'll just highlight this and use this to plug in our information. So W16, T is what we're solving for. We have 3 over 2 for a first rate, 2 over 1 for a second, and 1 over 2 for a third. Now, of course, you want least common denominator and simplify, so I'm just going to quickly do that. 16 is equal to T times least common denominator is 2, so 3 over 2 plus 4 over 2 plus 1 over 2, right? We turned 2 over 1 to 4 over 2. So 3 plus 4 plus 1 is 8. So it's 8 over 2 times T. 8 over 2 is 4. 16 is equal to 4T. So what is T equal to? T is 16 divided by 4, or 4. Simple as that, guys. On to our last example, and then we're done. So Beth can grade 10 papers in 3 hours. Good for you, Beth. RB is equal to 10 over 3. John can grade 3 papers in 1 hour, so John will be 3 over 1. And Isaac, we don't know Isaac. Okay, great. So I guess we're probably going to solve for Isaac. So John, Isaac, and Beth can grade a total of 14 papers in 2 hours. So W is equal to 14, and the time that we're given is 2. So what we're solving for is Ri, right? Let's plug this in now. So W is 14, T is 2, rate 1 is 10 over 3, rate 2 is 3 over 1, and Isaac's we don't know, so let's just call it R. Divide both sides by 2. 7 is equal to 10 over 3 plus 3 over 1 plus R. The least common denominator is 3, so 3 over 1 becomes 9 over 3. 10 over 3 plus 9 over 3 plus R. 7 is equal to 10 plus 9, which is 19 over 3 plus R. Multiply both sides by 3. 3 times 7 is 21. You have 19 here. You have 3R, right? Rules of distribution. So 21 subtracted from 9 will give you 2 is equal to 3R. Divide both sides by 3, and R is equal to 2 over 3. So in 1 hour, Isaac can grade 2 over 3 papers. Bravo. And that's it, everyone. So quickly to go over the equations for this particular unit, what we have here is R is equal to work over time. For situations where you have objects or people with the same rate, it's W is equal to nRT. And situations where you have different rates, you have W is equal to T times R1 plus R2 plus R3, etc. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach us at synergy-prep.com or click on the link at the bottom of this page under the video. And I'll see you guys next time.